chosen for development because of the abandoned buildings, and now a certain side of nature had started taking over. It wasn't the pretty sort that existed outside L.A. It was weeds and creepers, grass growing through piles of trash, and stunted bushes cracking concrete apart as their roots quested for any touch of water.
"She's right, you know," one of the other elves said. "If we're going to fight for the plants, we should stop a forestry project or an airport expansion." "What's with her accent, anyway?" the third elf asked. "Is she Scottish or something? People from Scotland should understand these things. I've seen all those mountains and lakes on TV." "I'm English, not Scottish, you Burke," Lucy said. "That has nothing to do with any of this," the first elf said. "You two remember, it's about the thin end of the wedge. This is a place starved of life, and they're going to crush what little is here? No, we cannot allow it. We must not. What if we tried to save something more important instead? Then we might not have the Griffins trying to stop us." "The Order of the Silver Griffins are part of the problem. They stand for the status quo, for the ongoing destruction. If we didn't take them on now, then we would have to—" "Whoa there! Are you saying you picked a fight with them on purpose?"
The other two elves backed away from their leader, hands raised. The plans they'd harassed the captive construction workers with went still.
"Of course that's the plan. Not my plan." "In that case," Lucy pointed her wand at the ringleader, "refrigero!" A bolt of icy magic shot across the gap between them, but the elf quickly reacted. A spray of wildflowers sprang into the air and froze as the spell hit them. Brightly colored petals turned white as frost took hold. While he was busy countering Lucy, the elf took his eyes off Jackie. She ran from behind the backhoe and charged through the frozen foliage, which shattered at the impact and fell like fragments of green snow. The elf turned in time for her fist to connect with his jaw, which spun him around. He landed in the dirt and fallen leaves with a thud. The other two elves held up their hands. "We're sorry," one of them said. "We never should have done this."
"Because you got caught?" Jackie asked, raising her wand.
"No, because it was the wrong thing to do."
"That's right. You've used magic in front of mundane humans, and now we have to clear up your mess. We should send you all to Trevelsom." The name of the magical prison made the two elves exchange a fearful look. "Good thing you seem to have changed your tune, right, Agent Heron?" Lucy crouched over the fallen elf and summoned cable ties around his hands. "That's right," she agreed. "Taking you all in would be 3 times harder than managing this one. And I get the impression you know how to behave, no?" She shot them a warning look. "Remember, we know your faces, and next time we won't let you off with a warning."
"Of course."
One of the elves waved a hand. A portal appeared in the air next to him, glowing gold around its edge. Then the two elves stepped through and disappeared. Jackie let out a deep breath. "Back to HQ with this one?" "Not yet." Lucy cast a spell, and the plants holding the construction workers collapsed. Like the roses before them, they withered and faded in death that would have taken months in the fall instead of passing in a matter of seconds. Freed from their bonds, the workers stared at each other and the two witches in bewilderment.
"What the—"
one of them began.
"Never was, never will be."
Lucy waved her wand. The men's expressions went slack as their awareness of the world around them faded, along with their memories of the past half hour. "Should we reposition them?" Lucy asked. "Try to get them back how they were before the elves arrived." "Do you know what any of them were doing?" Jackie asked. "Because I have no clue who does what on a construction site." After a brief discussion, they settled on putting tools in the men's hands. When they regained consciousness, they could draw their own conclusions about what they had been doing. In the meantime, the captured elf woke up enough for Lucy to haul him to his feet.
"All right, sunshine. Time for you to take a trip to Griffin Central."
She shoved him into the back of her Rivian SUV with the child lock set so he couldn't get out. Jackie climbed into the passenger seat. Then Lucy drove them all to the nearest Starbucks.
"How do we get him down to the station?"
Lucy asked as she pulled into the parking lot.
"Dissimulato scura."
Jackie pointed her wand at the elf. There was a brief, bright burst of magic, and a moment later